If you read the video title carefully, then you know things are about to get weird. And that's why you're here. Let me put things into perspective for you. Ever since you were a little kid, you've been taught some things about something. To this day, we know very little about. Dinosaurs. Just about every fact that you've ever learned about dinosaurs is just a theory, a hypothesis. You've been taught that dinosaurs were wiped out. Yet we have bees, turtles, sharks, crocodiles, all animals that were around when dinosaurs were. This small detail should send up a red flag. A lot of things science has taught us about dinosaurs sounds made up. There are a lot of things that don't add up. They don't make any sense. Truth is stranger than fiction. And when it comes to living dinosaurs, it just gets stranger. Okay, folks, consider this. There are over 8 million different species of animals on this planet. You haven't seen them all. In fact, the only animals that we see are animals and humans have interacted with almost daily, and animals that we can get to. Some of the most exotic animals that exist live in the most unhospitable environments on Earth. Places where you should not be. Places that will kill you if you don't have a temperature-controlled spacesuit of advanced body armor. In the true wilderness of the Earth, every second is a threat to your life. So, if you wanted to see this flying demon creature of Papua New Guinea with your own eyes, you would have to fly there. You would have to get together a team with guns. You would have to get permission to travel through the jungle and up the mountains by the villagers. And you would need to follow their rules. Once in the jungle, you have to deal with the things of the wild. You have biting bugs, insects, snakes, spiders, bats, and other creepy crawlies of the jungle that want to eat you. You have intense jungle heat and humidity along with dense foliage, mud and water, home to some very deadly viruses and bacteria. And if none of these things get you, you have hostile natives that may want to rob or even kill you, not to mention day and nighttime predators. Now, mainstream science has tried to convince us that dinosaurs died out millions of years ago, and that Earth and the universe is billions of years old. This is just a theory, folks.
Well, we could use major radiometric dating to determine the half-life of the isotopes in the rock, and then we could compare this rock to that rock, and that rock over there must be older because it was underneath this rock. So this means this animal must have been alive millions of years ago.
Folks, this is bullshit. They don't know. Scientists will actually reshape pieces of a puzzle to make them fit. They always do this. You have to understand that they have no problem lying to you. Because for one thing, you're not going to check behind their work. And it's going to be years before anyone does. This is typical evolutionary scientist storytelling. These are the people who say the dinosaurs were wiped out by a comet and then turn around and say that birds are direct descendants of dinosaurs. Well, how can something that's dead have kids? How can a T-Rex evolve into a chicken? I'm not making this shit up, folks. This is what they actually want you to believe, and nobody complains that their findings are absurd. They find fossils and bones all over the world, and they come up with these theories about what they look like, what they ate, how they hunted, how they moved, what they sound like. It's all crap. Some scientists even go as far as to involve aliens into their research. Are you with me so far? Evolutionary scientists will never say that dinosaurs were killed by a great flood, because then they would be in agreement with the Bible. And then they turn around and say,
There wasn't a great flood, but the whole earth was once underwater.
Now, creationists, those who believe God created the heavens, earth, and the creatures in it, have a completely different take on dinosaurs. This belief makes the earth and the universe only thousands of years old, not millions and billions, and puts dinosaurs living around the same time as man. Look at any ancient civilization and they have dragons and serpents depicted along with horses, goats, sheep, chickens, pigs. So among all these other regular animals that they painted on the wall, they just decided to throw in this dinosaur to make it interesting. Now, the name dinosaur is not that old. It was first used in 1841 from the Latin. Here we go again with Latin again. Isn't it interesting that a language we don't use is constantly used to label things in science? Strange. But anyway, it's from the Latin word Dinosaurus, or terrible powerful lizard. Now, of course, dinosaur doesn't appear in the Bible or any other ancient text, but terrible lizard does. In the Hebrew scriptures, specifically Genesis chapter 1 verse 21, it is Tanin, or the English sea monster, or serpent, or jackal, or sea creature, or dragon, and in one translation, crocodile. And in every translation, there is one word that is always in front of it, the word great. We have references of people fighting dragons, riding dinosaurs throughout history, all over the place. So the big question remains, do these wondrous beasts still exist today? My God, I hope not. And I know there are some crazy folks out there who would just love to have these things running around. So to answer that question, I want you to consider this. These dinosaurs that are being sighted globally, from the Ropin of Papua New Guinea to Mokele Mbembe in the Congo, are real sightings of animals that no one can identify as anything other than what we know of in today's world as a dinosaur. You see, the real question is, and will always be, how? So here's the thing. If you walk into the Congo and stumble upon what looks like a live brachiosaur, you can automatically assume one of two things. Either this creature is very, very old, or there's more of them, or both. Pterosaurs or pterodactyl remains are found all over the globe. So let's say a small few did survive the flood. That was a few thousand years ago, so you would think they would have repopulated the globe once again. What maintains their numbers? Why is the Loch Ness Monster by itself, or is it? What, do these things just keep living as long as no thing or no one kills them? What's strange is that these sightings are increasing. There are life forms on our planet that go dormant or sleep for years, and when the conditions are right, they come back. Can this fact about other animals be applied to dinosaurs? Is it possible? How come I get the feeling that people in the near future are going to start seeing these things for themselves more and more? Think about what they've been pushing in the media. Jurassic World. Why do they need to make this movie to sell to our children what was already sold to us? We've got dinosaur kid shows, cartoons, animated movies. We got Pete's Dragon coming out and another King Kong movie. You got these crazy ass movies you can watch on the internet with Nazis riding dinosaurs. I mean, what is the meaning of all this? Isn't it odd? Isn't it scary that they would bombard and saturate our lives and culture with these monsters? Monsters that supposedly died millions of years ago. And of course there's no good footage of these things, and it doesn't matter, because if it was out of focus you'd say,
It's blurry.
and if it's in focus using 4K Ultra HD you say,
That's CGI.
God help us.